You wake up every morning with a choice whether you admit it or not. You can roll over, scroll your phone, and let the day drag you around like a dead weight, or you can get up with intention and start building something that actually resembles the person you claim you want to become. Most people talk a big game about discipline, success, control, but when the alarm hits, they crumble. That's the truth. No philosophy, no dream, no ambition means anything if you can't even win the first battle of the day. Getting the hell out of bed and doing what you said you would do. And this is where a consistent morning routine comes in, not as some cute productivity hack, but as a weapon. Because if you understand Stoicism, you know one thing. You don't control the world, but you damn well control yourself. And if you understand Machiavellian thinking, you know power doesn't come from wishing, it comes from structure, strategy, and ruthless consistency. A morning routine is where those two worlds collide. It's not about drinking lemon water or journaling because some influencer told you to. It's about becoming dangerous in your discipline. It's about building a version of yourself that doesn't negotiate with weakness. Let's get something straight. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. And your morning is the foundation of that system. If your mornings are chaotic, lazy, and reactive, your life will be too. You'll spend your days putting out fires, reacting to other people's demands, and wondering why you feel stuck. But if your mornings are controlled, intentional, and consistent, you start dictating the pace. You stop reacting, you start leading. That's power. Stoicism teaches you to master your impulses, to wake up and say, I don't care how I feel, I care what needs to be done. That's the mindset you need the second your eyes open. Because your feelings, they're unreliable as hell. Some days you'll feel motivated. Most days you won't. That's normal, that's human. But if you rely on motivation, you've already lost. A strong morning routine removes the need for motivation entirely. You don't wake up and ask, do I feel like it? You wake up and execute, period. And this is where Machiavellian thinking sharpens the edge. You design your routine like a strategy, not a suggestion. You don't just hope you'll have a good day, you engineer it. You decide in advance what your morning looks like. Wake up time, first action, movement, focus work, no randomness, no wasted decisions. Because every decision you leave open in the morning is another opportunity for weakness to sneak in. Think about it. When you wake up without a plan, what happens? You grab your phone, you scroll, you waste 20, 30, 60 minutes consuming other people's lives before you've even started your own. You've already lost control, and the day just started. That's not an accident. That's you handing over your agency without a fight. A powerful routine cuts that garbage out completely. You wake up, same time, every day. No snoozing. Snoozing is just practicing failure. You're literally training yourself to ignore your own commands. Then you move your body, not because it's fun, not because it's trendy, but because it sets the tone. It tells your brain, we're doing hard things today. Then you get your mind in order. Whether that's journaling, planning, or just sitting in silence for 5 minutes, this is where you decide who you're going to be today. Not reactively, intentionally. And here's the part most people don't want to hear. It's going to suck at first. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel resistance. Your brain will come up with every excuse in the book. Just 5 more minutes. You can start tomorrow. You deserve a break. That voice, that's the exact thing you're trying to dominate. Stoicism calls it discipline over impulse. Machiavellianism calls it control over weakness. Either way, if you keep listening to that voice, you stay average. And let's be honest, you don't want to be average. Nobody actually does. But most people live like they have already accepted it. They hit snooze. They drift through mornings. They wait for motivation that never comes. And then they wonder why nothing changes. A consistent morning routine is how you break that cycle. Not in a week, not in some overnight transformation, but day by day, brick by brick, You start becoming someone different. You start trusting yourself. And that's huge because right now, if you're inconsistent, you don't trust yourself. You say you'll wake up early. You don't. You say you'll work out. You don't. You say you'll focus. You get distracted. Every broken promise chips away at your identity. But when you follow a routine, especially when it's hard, you start stacking wins. Small ones at first, but they compound. You wake up when you said you would. Win. You complete your routine. Win. You start your day focused. Win. And suddenly you're not just trying to be disciplined. You are disciplined. That's how identity is built. Not through words, but through repeated action. Machiavellian thinking takes this a step further. Perception matters. The way you see yourself and the way others see you comes from consistency. If you're the person who always follows through, people notice. If you're the person who controls their time, their energy, their focus, you become someone others take seriously. That's influence. That's quiet power. And it starts in the morning when nobody's watching. Let's talk about character for a second. Everyone wants to build character, but nobody wants to do the boring, repetitive, uncomfortable things that actually create it. Character isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in the mundane. Waking up early when you don't want to, sticking to your routine when you're tired, doing the work when nobody's clapping for you. That's where it happens. A consistent morning routine forces you into those moments every single day. It's like training for your mind. You're teaching yourself, I do what I say I'm going to do, regardless of how I feel. That's a dangerous mindset in the best way possible. Because once you have that, everything else becomes easier. Work, you handle it. Challenges, you face them. Setbacks, you don't crumble. You've already proven to yourself every morning that you can act despite resistance. Now let's be real for a second. This isn't about becoming some perfect robotic machine. You're going to mess up sometimes. You'll have bad days. You'll miss a morning here and there. That's not the problem. The problem is quitting. The problem is letting one bad morning turn into a bad week, then a bad month, then a bad year. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means you come back every time. Stoicism teaches resilience. Machiavellianism teaches adaptability. So when you slip, you don't sit there whining about it. You adjust and get back on track. No drama, no excuses, just action. Here's the truth most people avoid. The life you want requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. More disciplined, more focused, more controlled. You don't magically become that person, you build them. And your morning routine, that's the workshop. Every day you step into it, you're shaping your identity, strengthening your discipline, sharpening your mind, or you're reinforcing weakness. Because every day you skip it, you're also building something, just not what you want. You're building habits of avoidance, of comfort, of inconsistency. So either way, you're creating a version of yourself. The question is it someone you actually respect? A powerful morning routine isn't glamorous. It's repetitive, it's structured, it's sometimes boring as hell. But that's exactly why it works. Because it removes chaos. It removes decision fatigue. It removes the constant negotiation with yourself. You don't wake up and wonder what to do. You already know. And that clarity, that's freeing. It gives you mental space to focus on bigger things, your work, your goals, your strategy. Instead of wasting energy on, should I start now? You're already moving. That's the difference between people who drift and people who build. So if you're serious about changing your life, stop looking for some massive breakthrough. Start with your morning, set a wake-up time, and stick to it like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. Create a simple, non-negotiable routine. Move your body, train your mind, plan your day. No fluff, no excuses, no compromises, and then Repeat it every day, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, every day, because that's how you build something real. That's how you turn discipline into identity. That's how you turn intention into action. That's how you turn yourself into someone you actually respect. You don't need more motivation. You need structure. You need consistency. You need to stop negotiating with the weaker version of yourself and start acting like the person you're trying to become. So tomorrow morning when the alarm goes off, you've got a choice. Hit snooze and stay exactly where you are. Or get up, take control, and start building something that actually matters. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to force you to be disciplined. It's on you. Every morning, every decision, every action. So make it count. If you're serious about becoming better than you were yesterday, like and subscribe for more life-transforming content. Thank you.